Mr. Babylon. Tell me where to get this system from. They borrow all the people money. And ain't getting nothing to me. Anyhow, like Corey said earlier, that this is a fact-based political party now. We're only dealing with facts and evidence, right? Now, Quincy just said we're dealing with what? Facts and evidence. And he made a point just now. He said the only pile on 9 taxes. I was like, only 9? Good Lord, man. Only 9 taxes? People of Barbados, are you listening to this information? Listen to the information we're giving you. We have not come to misrepresent any point, especially tonight. Everything is factual. They said that they would put a graduate in every household. How many graduates have they put in any household? They have said that they would build 10,000 houses. Only 1,000 build. But somebody said that, no, as an attorney, we need to qualify our statements because we don't want to defame anybody. But it is alleged that $16 million missing, and only 1,000 houses have been built, and there's no accountant general to fact check anything. You know, sometimes listening to that scenario, I would like to go and borrow a loan from the bank, and what the bank don't run behind me, come and ask me to pay them back. That's the situation now. The accountant general, there's no person in the accountant general position for over a year now, people. Over a year. If you borrow a little loan from the bank or credit, you know your loans officer calling you next month if you miss a payment. But nothing is happening with this government. And that is why we are here in St. Matthias to bring our argument to the people. Directly to the people. And the next person to bring this argument, and although Corey open batting, we have a very serious batsman coming. Your own, homegrown, local. This man, young man, Andrew Kiev, a father, a husband, a very caring individual, a people's person. I canvassed with him over this weekend, and he had his young daughter. Daughter played in the trampoline. You know, I asked Kylie for some dunks and some salt, and we had a good time. But that is the person that is looking to represent you at the next general election, St. Matthias. A businessman for over 22 years, working as an insurance agent. Insurance, something that everybody needs. An intangible commodity that you pay for every year and goes up and up and up. It never comes down. Insurance, life, marine, all kind of insurance he sells. And tonight, he comes here to sell you not insurance, but truth and facts. So I want you to say with me tonight, people. I want you to chant with me tonight. United and brave, we standing with Kiev. United and brave, we standing with Kiev. United and brave, we standing with branch on the selector. Ain't no money pull-ups tonight, people, but united and brave, we standing with Kiev. And we go all the way to the motherland to bring you this song tonight, people. All the way to the motherland. Let me hear you say Africa. Not Afrimix Bank, Africa. Because we're giving the free line.
Christ Church, stand up.
We're giving the free line, or we're not giving away Barbados. Not at all. If you're outside businessman, you want something Barbados, you have to pay it. Because the people of Barbados deserve better. They deserve to be treated great. And this man, Andrew Great, is going to bring greatness to the constituency of West. For Church West. Hit the stage, my brother.
Brighter days coming fast. We're doing something strong, something made to last. From the youth to the elders, every voice we will say. A leader for the people, that's why we're standing with King. A vision for the future, not tomorrow but day. Together as one, let's lead the way.
Standing with faith, standing with faith. The people together, we paving the way. Stand up, speak up, it's time for a change. United and brave, we standing with faith.
Good night, my people. Good night. And good night, St. Matthias.
It is so good to be here. It's a pleasure to stand here before you and represent you, the good people of St. Matthias and by extension Christchurch West. And I want to say to you, I think it's quite fitting to wish you a happy new year and a prosperous 2026. I first want to start by saying that I love this constituency that we live in, Christchurch West. I love it. And I have lived in this Christchurch West constituency for almost 50 years. So I've walked the length and breadth of this constituency, so I understand. And I know the problems and the challenges and the situations and the things that we go through together as a family every single day. I understand. As a matter of fact, I attended St. Matthias. I know I give away my age. 3 of my 4 boys attended the Arthur Smith School. And one of the fundamental reasons we decided to have this meeting right here in St. Matthias is because St. Matthias is grounded in rich history in Barbados. St. Matthias is grounded in national and historic significance in this country. So anytime you go anywhere and any person asks you, where are you from? Or where do you live? I want my people in St. Matthias to hold your head high and say, I am from St. Matthias, and be proud about it. So we have over here, not too far from here, we have St. Matthias Church, which was built in 1848, but consecrated in 1850. Then we had next to St. Matthias Church, St. Matthias Boys, which was built and opened in 1906, 6 years before my grandmother was born in 1912, because she was born in St. Matthias as well. And where St. Matthias Girls is located at this present point, where the courts are located, that is where St. Matthias Girls school was located at that given point in time. Obviously, we know we have Arthur Smith School just here, which was opened in 1990. And obviously, you know that it was named after the headmaster of St. Matthias Boys, which is called Arthur Stanley Smith. And Mr. Smith dedicated over 30 years of his life to this constituency and to the educational, to education in this country. In the bosom of St. Matthias, we have the United Nations, which was only opened in 2002. And then we have next to Wanderers, we have the Palm Marine, which was named, as we would know it, the Marine, where we used to hold dances and fetes. And so I remember we used to come over the Fields Wall to watch karate. We used to look to see Aaron Truss. Back in the days, do Shotokan, karate. And then we have here, over here, just not too far from here, Wanderers Cricket Club, or Wanderers Sports Club, which was founded in 1877 to the lights of Craig Bradford and Ian Bradshaw. So this constituency has a wealth of history. A wealth of history. Even these housing units, which were built in the late 60s, early 70s. And I have spoken to many persons in this constituency and persons who own these housing units, and they're yet today to have the title deeds to their home. What is this representative doing? A senior minister. A senior minister in Barbados. The representative of this constituency for so many years, And many people cannot have their title deeds in their hands. That is a shame. That is a shame. In addition to that, St. Matthias has a rich history of horse racing. And St. Matthias would have produced 3 world-class jockeys. And we know them as the husband brothers. One, I remember Turkey husbands. And then you have Bourmel. I know him as Bourmel, which is Simon Husbands. And then we have the world-class champion jockey, Patrick Husbands, came from right here in this constituency. We have a lot to be proud of. We have a lot to be proud of in this constituency. But hailing from Rockley, we had a guy called Roger Brown. We used to call him Little Brown because Little Brown was so little. When Little Brown come out among the kindergarten, you can tell who was who, because Little Brown was so short. But subsequently, while riding in a horse race, riding a horse in the 80s, Little Brown fell off the horse, hit his head, went into coma, and unfortunately, he succumbed to his injuries. May he rest in peace. I pray to God that one day coming soon, when I'm elected as the true representative of this constituency, Christchurch West, I would make sure that one of these parks in this constituency is named after Roger Little Brown, because he deserves it. We also have a rich history of football in this constituency. One of the best football teams that I have ever experienced, Des Road United, which was started in around 2005, managered by Mr. Terry Richards, and coached by Zebby from the BLN and Wayne Doyle, and to the likes of the fantastic players like Brian Bino, Chrissy, foreigner Frank from over the hill there by the rower block, top goalkeeper. Then you talk about John Moore, John O, John Stout, and many more. Roland, and many more. That was a top team. I remember a night we were supposed to play Checker Hall in St. Lucie, because I personally sat on the board, on the executive committee of Des Road United at that given point in time. And we had to play Checker Hall in St. Lucie. And out here right now cannot compare to the amount of people who came out every single night to support Des Road United. Out here was so full of people and cars that the police was called in. The police was called in, and when the police got here, they found out that all that was happening is that the people in St. Matthias only came out to support Des Road United. And I remember someone coming to tell me that was when we were a family, St. Matthias. That is when we were a family, but today, we are only strangers in a familiar land. And I am saying to you tonight that we could be a family again. We could be a family again. All we have to do is stand united and brave. We standing with united and brave. United and brave. And that is what we have to do. We have to stand united for a bigger cause. We also have a rich history. We also have a rich history of not only football, you understand, of basketball as well. In the 80s, these basketball courts were built. I know the one in Rockley was built in the 80s. And Rockley Jazz and Senators used to have it hot. Ding dong, very hot. To the lights of Dwight Rose. You had Richard Bennett. You had the King brothers, Nicky King and Brian King, the Bell brothers too, and Andrew Saki Bell. Right? You had Curtis Maloney and the Ward boys, the Ward brothers from Rockley, that played for Rockley Jazz. And again, we had a fantastic support. Rear droves and cars and trucks would come out just to support. Nowadays, we don't get this support. We don't have this support. Where is the representative for this constituency? Look at these hard courts. Look at the hard court. Look at it. Look at this basketball ring. They don't even have a backboard. And they just passed at the hard courts in Rockley. And like here, we see cars parked on it there. You can't blame people for parking on the courts, because if it doesn't have the true purpose, the people can find other purposes for it. You cannot blame people for that. So we don't have the necessary programs and systems and structures in place where our young people would not be lost in the cracks of our society. I say to you tonight, St. Matthias, that we are the sacrificial lamb. And this government, this Barbados government, this Barbados Labour Party, focuses on the wrong thing. The focus on putting the wealth in the hands of the rich by building hotels and more hotels and more hotels. Right? Why our people here, right here in St. Matthias, and the surrounding constituents, the surrounding communities, why our people lack basic necessities? You understand what I'm saying? Basic necessities. You know what I would love to see, though? I know many years, we used to, around Christmas, the entire Barbados, nearly all of Barbados, used to leave the homes at Christmas and go to Bonnets to look at the lights. I used to love that. I used to live for that moment. I would love to have the opportunity to do that again in Bonnets, not only in Bonnets, in St. Matthias. In St. Matthias, I believe that can happen. I believe that can happen. And may I remind you that under a Democratic Labour Party, we had a thriving healthcare system. Under a Democrat Labour Party, we built the best. The Santos Public Health Laboratory was built by the Democratic Labour Party. May I remind you that under the Democratic Labour Party, we had to finish the St. John Polyclinic in this country. May I remind you that under a Democratic Labour Party, that the police station in Hastings was built by the Democratic Labour Party. And I could go on and on and on and on. My brother and sisters, I cringe at the thought sometimes at reaching for a nation newspaper or a paper, period. Because each time you open there, you see our young people, our young men and women, sadly, throwing away their lives. Sadly, throwing away their lives. Up to last week, the other week, we had a 16-year-old and 17-year-old being charged for murder. And I'm saying to the people of St. Matthias, this cannot be our portion for our young people in St. Matthias. It cannot be. A guy came to me and told me that he went and asked a representative, I ain't calling the name, and all the jobs that are available for our young people in our communities is cutting grass, weeding the road. Is that how this government sees you? And I'm saying to you tonight, I, Andrew Cave, I do not see you this way. There's better in you. Why can't some of our young people attend the Palm Marine, which is short here, and then transition to the hotels along the South Coast? That is not beyond you. That is not beyond you. I know that you, the youth in this neighborhood, is better. You are better than just cutting grass, made to cut grass. The other day, I was made to understand, well, I understand that we got a pay increase. Who out there feel the ease? I want to hear. Let me see your hand. Did you feel the ease from the pay increase? Did you feel the ease? Talk to me. It was, I understand the minimum wage was raised by 21 cents. By 21 cents. Listen, you know what is this? This is a brown man. How much it costs? How much a brown man costs? How much a brown man costs? About 30 cents? About 30 cents. So that 21 cents that was given can't even buy a brown man. That is a slap in the face, man. Disrespecting the people. Can't even buy a brown man. And they get and celebrate. This Barbados Labour Party gets and celebrate about this 21 cent raise in the minimum wage. And I heard a senior minister lamenting about potholes are the result of climate change. The Deputy Prime Minister. So for now, you can hear that crime is the result of the potholes. Soon for now, you can hear that the cost of living is a result of the potholes. One more you can hear. Ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, can you imagine a Christchurch West where we can all live, work, and play? Where our children can walk freely in a safe neighborhood, where we can all strive and do business and power local economy, where families, regardless of background, share in a renewed sense of belonging. This Christchurch West, I'm telling you, we, not you, we deserve this. At the end of this month, under a Democratic Labour Party, we will be rolling out our fishing program. And it sits on the foundation of the Chinese proverbs. Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish, and you feed him for life. And so we want to teach at least 20 young men and women how to fish, and then help them transition and show them how they can earn a living from fishing. I think we should clap for that. Under a Democratic Labour Party, We would adopt schools and teach them financial literacy. This is more than a call for contributions. This is a call for collaboration, a call for those who are blessed with influence and means to become architects of transformation. Together we can redefine Christchurch West. And I end with a poem written and scripted by a good man. It's called The Impossible Dream. To dream the impossible dream is a bold and noble task. But to live the impossible dream is to go beyond the realm of what possibility asks. Because if the possible was impossible, the impossible just doesn't exist. That is why we thank God for sending his only begotten Son who came and conquered death, making all things in this world possible. So Simultaneous, there are no mountains high enough that together we can climb over that mountain. Simultaneous, there's no valley deep enough that we can't climb out of that valley together. Simultaneous, there's no problem, challenge, or situation great or big enough that together we can handle this situation. Because when God is by our side, we become the majority. I am saying to you tonight, Simultaneous, I am not promising you a bed of roses. No, I am not promising you a smooth walk in the Garden of Eden. No, I am not. But I am saying to you to put your hand in mine and mine in yours, and together we would explore possibility. And I know that they're going to come with all kinds of gimmicks and tricks. They may even offer you money. But I say to you tonight to take the money. But when you get into that voting booth, I want you to become that father that will say, I want the best for my daughter. I want you to become that mother that says, I want the best for my son. And I say to you tonight, Simultaneous, I say to you tonight, whenever the bell is rung, that together, we will conquer all of these problems that we have in Christchurch West. All of them that we can tackle them together. We can't do everything one time. You have a representative that was here for years. And every 5 years he comes around with little trinkets, little gift baskets around Christmas. And I know I am not saying not to take them, but anytime any government or any person is not empowering you, they're just giving you a hand out and not a hand up. They are no good. They are up to no good. They want you to continue to depend on them for the rest of their lives. But under a Democratic Labour Party, we empower people. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for coming out. I am so pleased to see so many of you out tonight. And I want to say, God bless Simultaneous. United and brave. United and brave. Yeah. United and brave. United and brave. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. God bless. I love you.